Well, hello guys, I'm Jay and today I'm gonna speak about Reading Slump. Well, hello again. So yeah, this is my first video with voice recording, and I just want to mention that English is not my first language. So I will make some mistakes in the future, or say something silly because of that. And as you can see, my grammar is not perfect, so bear with me. I'm trying my best. I just want to speak in English because I want to speak as many people as possible. So yeah, bear with me. And as I said in intro, today I'm gonna speak about Reading Slump. And for me, Reading Slump is kind of big thing because I experienced for the longest time. It's been like 10 years, I guess, since I read books with entertainment purpose, not like major or recommended or something. So it's been a great deal for me, and I just recently got out from that, start to read book again. I just thought that, speaking of my experience might helpful for you to get through your, book slump, I guess. And first, I just want to speak about my relationship with books. My mother was kind of big book believer, so she just thought that anything readable will be helpful for her kids. So we have like 4 or like 5 bookshelves filled with various books. Like sometimes it's fiction, non-fiction, and also we have a lot of comic books. So naturally, I was so used to have books around me. And at the age of 7, I guess, I watched first Harry Potter movie, and it was kind of big thing for me. I was so fascinated by the magic system or like fantasy world that you cannot experience in your reality. And after I watched the movie with my family, I just found out that we have that book in our home. My mother just bought it for my brother. I got the book and read that. I think that was like first time that I read something serious, not like fairy tale or like a child's chapter book or something, without any picture. So yeah, and after that I was so, fascinated by the fantasy stories, like Narnia or Harry Potter or some kind of other things, and also into detective stories. I love Sherlock Holmes so much. I'm in love with Sherlock Holmes books, so I just bring that anywhere, everywhere. And I also read a lot of, Agatha Christie books, and I really like that. So at that time, I just bring book with me everywhere. At the lunchtime in school, I just read books. And I also read book in the street while I'm coming home. So yeah, I bring the book everywhere with me, and I was so into books at that moment. But at the age of 15, I went to high school. So high school in Korea is kind of big thing. You have to really, study hard for your exam, your Korean SAT to go to, university. So I didn't really have any free time because of that, because of study. So we have kind of really structured timetable. So I have to go to, school at 7 a.m. and study for like a few hours, and I go home at 6 p.m. or something, and I have to study more, and I go to bed at like 1 a.m. or something. So I didn't really have free time for read books. Well, at that time I just thought that after I go to university I will have plenty of time, so I can read books again. But after I go to college, I have free time, but I didn't really read books anymore. So at that time, reading book is kind of, dedication. It requires my dedication to read books. And even if I have like free time, a lot of free time, I just want, see a lot of, silly videos in YouTube or like Instagram or something. So I waste a lot of time doing nothing but didn't read books, because at that moment reading book is not a habit for me. It's kind of new thing that I have to try, and I didn't really try it at that time. And after I started work, the same thing happened again. I have some free time, but I didn't read any books because of that. I wasted a lot of time doing nothing but didn't read books, because it requires my concentration and my conscience, I guess. So yeah, I didn't really do that. But around 2021 and 2022, I saw some book reviews on the YouTube, and it really motivated me to read again. The first thing I pick up is this book. It's Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. And I think the first book is kind of really important to get out of reading slump. And I picked it up because some reasons, and I want to share that. And first, I know that I love this. I read it before when I was young, and I really love that. So I know that I will read it without, getting bored or something. And the second reason is that it's easy. It's not very, thick or not very short. Word itself was not very complicated. And also I read it before in Korean, so I can easily understand and easily follow this story. And finally, I use this as a tool to study English. So when I was young, I read books because it's entertaining and because of pure excitement or something. But as I grow older, I sometimes think that I have to study harder, or I have to work harder instead of reading books. So reasoning myself that this is not just entertainment but also a study keep me get through this. Well, I know that you have to relax or have hobby while you're working or studying, but at that time I was not in the kind of healthy mindset, so I just reasoning myself that this is also a study, and it really helped me to get out of the guilty mindset or something. But as the time passed, I just started to enjoy more and more. So nowadays I just read book because I want it. So here are some tips that I can give you to might help you to get out of your book slump. First, find some easy books that you know that you will enjoy. Maybe you can pick up some kind of book that you read before, just like me. But I just think that anything draws your attention would be great. And second, book annotation. I didn't really do any annotation on this book, but I started to do as I reading this book, The Song of Achilles. And you can see that I just write my opinions on the margin of the pages. And I also use some tabs, and it's all about like sad moments or romantic moments or godlike moments, because it's about Achilles, and also relationship or like emotional part or something. But it was my first attempt, and I do some tabbing after that, and it was a little bit different. This is a picture of Dorian Gray, and in this book, I use tab system as like, funny quotes and the quote of life and the relationship, and also conflict, because it's filled with conflict, and also sad moment or tragic moment, and terrible. So I think annotation is really great if you're easily distracted. It keeps you in the active position about reading, so you can add your comment of some kind of moment about your thought. And with annotation, if you read just like 5 pages a day, but your page is filled with your thoughts and your underlining or something, so it prevents me feeling awful after that. And third, find some other reasons to read books other than entertaining purpose. As I said earlier, I used the book as a method for studying English. So it keeps me focused on the book itself and also not too distracted to other things like smartphone or like SNS, social media or something. Well, it can be studied like me and also some kind of, to recommend book to your siblings and also some kind of goal that you set with your friends or something. And last but not least, bring your book everywhere. Bring them to office to read in your lunchtime or while you commute. Well, you might not read much at that period of time, but 20 pages per day will make you finish 200 pages book in like 2 weeks. Well, that's it. My experience about Reading Slump and also some tips that might help you. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you like it. Yeah, until next time. Bye bye.